All right, guys. Welcome back to the first game of which GP? What's the name of the GP again? Because we didn't do a deck list stream yet. It's Queenstown. Is it Queenstown or it's Queenstown?
Queenstown.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess it's someplace in Australia.
Do I not have the art for the island? Is it from a new secret layer? Wait. MSJ. What's that?
MSJ is Jumpstart.
Okay. Well. Anyways. Wait. I think it might be from Canon, right?
Well, I mean, MSJ is MSEM Jumpstart.
Okay. Well, anyways, let's stop talking about the island and start focusing on the actual game. And we have Skagra versus Dork in Distress. And as you can see, Dork has 100-something cards in their deck.
Yeah, so Dork is on Temporal Insight, which, if you have enough cards, it's a blue Time Walk. And the rest of the deck is Flirs.
I guess there's enough good random flyers in MSEM to build something like that.
Yeah. And then Skagra's on Kantra Town, won the GP, 3-4 GPs back?
Yeah.
At this point. Running it back, Town did get a change, so it doesn't create infinite mana at mana speed, just at
instant speed. Yeah.
Also speed.
It's instant speed. So let's see. Skagra starts off. Skagra is on the play, and they play Monkey Shines turn 1.
Yeah, Skagra looks to have a pretty darn good draw. They have the Shaper in hand. They also have the Escapade to find Kantra. And on the other side, Dork has stuff going on, but probably not going to be fast enough to actually kill Skagra before they can combo off, especially with the Strength moment.
How much counter spell does Dork have?
I think they're on Forcing Call for Spell Pierce.
Is that everything in a 100-card deck?
Yeah. I mean, there's not that much good one-man counter magic that you want to play.
Can't you just go up to 2 mana?
Yeah, but at that point, like, you kind of get into problems like actually developing, because you don't need to kill your opponent, right?
Right.
And if you're running like cost counters, then like, well, killing your opponent slower is making your counters less effective and it will spiral.
Skagra uses Seek Prophecy and flips 3 lands. That's funny.
Yeah, probably not a bad flip because they did need a land.
They play a land tapped and passes.
I guess I should mention Sworn the Dispossessed because that is like technically a counter spell, but man, is this card slow. I think I tried it once and I was like, yeah, I never really want to pay the 1.
Oh, it's number of +1/+1 counters on it, not equal to its power.
Yeah, it would be pretty good if it was equal to its power.
Yeah, actually, it would be like a better curse catcher at that point, right?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Curse Catcher stopping like harass and stuff. Wait, Curse Catcher is the instant sorcery one, right? Not the creature one.
Yeah, it's instant sorcery one.
So Dork does decide to pay the 1.
The spell does sprite costs 2. Huh.
Yeah, very weird. I figure that you want to develop like even just like a Griffin country because same amount of damage.
Or just spell does sprite, right? Or
yeah.
Wait, what does that card do again?
Spell does sprite?
Yeah.
Basically any token you make can become a spell does sprite. So ideally you want to be making a bunch of cheap tokens that will suddenly become 2/1 flyers with upside.
That doesn't feel that great. What do they have to turn on spell does sprite?
Not very much.
Teamer Falconeer.
Yeah, Falconeer. And I guess Nanza and Dio technically does it. At least I don't think you want to be turning Mother into a spell dust sprite. Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst card, just because actually 4 creatures flying is a lot.
Yeah, it's like a Gillian number. You know how hard it is to turn on Gillo in decks that aren't built to turn it on, and this is basically the same thing.
Yeah, not having tokens is not great. I mean, Gillo isn't that hard to turn on. I mean,
yeah, but that's because you were running Creature Vomit.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this is Flyers. So, okay, so Skagra doesn't fire off the Escapade before the second Swarm counters put on.
Huh, I think they might have just forgotten.
Maybe they're intentionally doing it so that Dork maybe counters this because they did actually draw the counter.
Right. Dork is gonna sure, I guess. So like Dork is still not developing the board. I guess they're just trying to tempo out a win with Swarm to Dispossessed. Yeah,
and I don't think this is good enough. I don't think it necessarily matters how Dork played this. Because Skagra will have at least actually they just have a win here because Escapade is in the graveyard.
Why?
because they can go Reshaper, Get Back, Escapade, Kantra on Reshaper, Infinite Mana, and then the Escapade can get the kill.
Right. I mean, if Dork held up Spell Pierce, maybe that would have stopped. Or, no, Dork can sacrifice Swarm to Dispossess to counter the Escapade.
Skagra did find a Monkey Shines, and even if they didn't find a Monkey Shines, like Dork's hand arguably loses to a 4/4.
Right.
So not looking great on that side either.
How many 1-drops does Dork run anyways?
They're not too many. They're on 11 creatures and then the 8 counter spells, which is definitely very light for a 110 card deck.
Yeah, because I feel like if Dork had more 1-drops, they would have had a better chance because they could have actually done stuff with their mana, as well as pumping up this one to Dispossessed.
Skagra just decides to lead on the Monkey Shines, see if they can actually combo off. Finds another Monkey Shines. So,
did they bottom or did they just draw the Monkey Shines? Did they bottom the cards or did they just accept that they're going to draw a Monkey Shines?
They just accepted it.
Okay.
Monkey Shines is like better than. I guess it's about the same as binning. No, it's better. So you dig one card deeper.
I mean, so here Scar was thinking about whether to run out the Reshaper or not, and the answer is an obvious yes because Dork does not have blue mana up right now.
Yeah, I might have just been checking the deck list to make sure Dork doesn't have any interaction here.
Like, what's the mana type in this format called again?
Invalidate.
Yeah, checking that Dork does not have Invalidate in their deck, which maybe Dork should have run that Invalidate because they need more 1-mana counters in a 100 card deck.
I don't know, Invalidate's kind of not excellent.
I mean, yeah, but like you need 1-mana counter spells, right? You have 100 cards, you need to fill out those slots.
Well, I mean, 4 Single, 4 Spell Pierce. Like, I think there's other cards you go for before Invalidate, personally. Just because, like, especially with Dork's deck not having that much card advantage. Like, they don't have, whatchamacallit, Crossing the Fog.
Wait, why are they not running Crossing the Fog?
I mean, with the way they bet the deck, it's not that unreasonable because they don't have that many 1-drops.
Right.
So, like, it kind of weirdly works out to be correct. Even though Crossing the Fog is like sometimes really, like it is just sometimes Ancestral Recall.
Yeah,
it's supposed to speed, but.
So is Dork going to sack the Swarm? Because like if you don't sack the Swarm, then they lose. So yeah, please sack the Swarm.
They lose anyways because Skagra found the second Escapade.
Oh wait, when did they find the second Escapade?
Of the Monkey Shines.
Oh, I mean Dork doesn't know that, so they're still gonna sack Swarm to Dispossessed, right? Like you're gonna sack it, right? Mean, okay, yeah, good.
You kind of have to, but I think it's not. I guess you still play on from this spot. It's not like lost. It's definitely not looking good.
And now it's lost. Oh.
Yeah, now it's over because Skagra will, with Infinite, might be able to mill 100 cards just as easily as they do 50.
Man, remember when you were trying to run mill like when it was Fireweaver meta?
Didn't run into Fireweaver even. Ran into 3 Profane MSIs.
Wait, this combo doesn't beat Purple Emissary either, right?
It can get around it, I believe. I just kind of assume they're running the mill. It looks like they are still. Yeah, Secret Horror. But you can get around it because they have vanishes on the sideboard. And you also just draw your deck, so you can like put out or you often draw your deck. So you can just put out like three Cantras and a couple offies and whatnot. And that might just beat a Profane sideboard.
Especially if they're out of cards.
Yeah, because you're also milling them out.
Yeah. So sideboard wise, I think Skagra didn't need to change that much. Like half their board is for Escapade, right? So they just have to decide whether to bring in neutralizes or not, or stand unassailable.
I mean, they have like a lot of random stuff on the board. Like they have a out-of-body experience, offie, which are kind of random one-offs, but I'm guessing out-of-body experience play isn't great here. Offie, probably not what you want against a tempo-y deck. Tranquil Pose maybe is okay. Probably not necessary.
Yeah. Well, anyways, going on to the other player's side, somehow this 100 card deck is actually smaller than Skagra's deck. I guess because they have a lot of 4-ups.
Yeah,
they're being really space efficient with their deck list.
Dork does actually have I think they ban the entire sideboard here.
Yeah, but that's only like 15 cards out of 100.
I mean, 15 cards out of 100 is a lot.
Is it? It's I
mean, that's like siding against 8 cards of a normal sideboard. Just like that's a lot.
Okay. Well, anyways, the game has started and What? So Skagra goes for turn 1 Seek Prophecy. Meanwhile, Dork has no turn 1 plays, which is quite a problem in your Flirs Tempo deck.
Yeah, but they do have turn 2 Lisa, which is, as far as turn 2 plays go, definitely up there. Since that is a 5 power clock. But Skagra does have combo in
Kantra?
hand with the exception of Dialect Town.
Can they fetch the town off Escapade?
It is not a creature card, so no.
Can they find a way to fetch? Yeah.
They can fetch Wraithia Cultivator.
I think here you just.
Which does also serve as a way to Inspirit Kantra.
I think here you just leave a Cosmic Sinkhole.
Yeah, I mean, you get best of both worlds with Escapade, right?
Yeah. Skagra decides to, going with the play that we described.
Yeah, Dork does have a Spell Pierce in hand, so...
Hey, they finally drew one of their 1-mana counter spells in time.
Yeah, that tap land is quite unfortunate, though. It means they can't deploy anything in addition.
Wait, what does Dork's mana base even look like?
It's just 4 of everything.
Okay.
4 of all the, reasonable blue-white stuff.
So they're tapping out, and Skagra's gonna Cosmic Sinkhole that.
Yeah, I think that plays out alright for Dork. And Skagra's at 13, and they still need to both Escapade and Cultivator, or just find Dialect Town in some other way.
Well, that's one way to get it.
So that should clean up the game, because Skagra can drop both Tranquil Moment and Sinkhole next turn, and then that will give them 4 spells for Shaper, so it costs 2, and then they can combo, they have Escapade in hand, and the Spell Pierce is looking pretty sad into infinite mana and creatures.
Yeah.
Definitely some pretty good draws from Skagra's side, getting turn 4 kills both games with interaction.
And even through interaction, right?
Yeah.
Dork can't really do much other than play a bunch of lords. I wonder if they're going to keep up Spell Pierce.
I mean, you kind of have to, but I mean...
Wait, what?
Skagra just goes for... I guess it doesn't matter, because they can cast for Shaper for 3, and that still is good enough.
Right.
Yeah, this does kind of highlight how... Yeah, you can kill Kantra in response now, but still kind of hard to sideboard for this combo, because a lot of the sideboard hate for combo is stuff like Spell Pierce, or still the Pandemonium. I guess they can also do it like that. Play around Sinkhole.
And that's 4 spells. Yeah, that works out.
And you just always have to go for it here. I guess Dork technically isn't referencing lethal, so you could wait a turn if you really wanted to, but...
There's no point in waiting, basically?
Yeah, because even if Dork has this in gold, then all that happens is that you just wait a turn, because they don't have a way to answer the Reshaper. I don't believe they have any removal in the deck, which is kind of wild.
Do they not have out of body? I mean, that would be bad, so yeah, good point.
Yeah, there's not too much removal you want to run in Flyers, which is part of why the Flyers goes pretty hard on the 1-drops, generally, so they can out-aggro you.
They do run Dreamsight well. I mean, that's one way to catch up in the late game, I guess.
Yeah, does just seem like a matchup that Dork wasn't really expecting.
Now that I think about it, neither am I prepared for this matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, Fog Spirit doesn't stop this combo deck.
Yep. I mean, it helps, but...
Does it help? I don't think it does, because all the combo pieces are creatures, and they get infinite mana with the combo.
It's hard to set up. Like, Sky's deck is still only playing 6 creatures, so all the other things, it's Fog Spirit is hitting.
Right.
And admittedly, Dork sideboard does hit this a fair bit, because Grave Hate's pretty good against this deck. Makes Reshaper harder to drop down.
Yeah.
And the deck is pretty reliant on Reshaper.
Skagra asking if they made shortcut to make mana of each color. I love how they always ask that every time.
Yeah, I want to be above board.
So let's convey Dork concedes. There you go. That's the first game of GPQ, and that was a quick one.
Yeah, would have needed to have a pretty good draw out of Dork to
always forget about Contra Town.
I feel like
Dork. I always forget about Contra Town, and then I get Contra Town out or Contra Clown on.
But yeah, there was definitely ways to deal with this matchup, but a lot of the kind of typical generic combo hate cards don't necessarily do it. Where you're looking for Meogate is obviously the best answer. Grave Hate's also good, and then just instant speed removal.
I mean, Forbidden Treasure technically does stuff, I guess.
Yeah, kind of. That depends on I'm not quite sure what the plan would be into Treasure, but yeah, Treasure and like a Wrath or something might do it. But even then, like Skagra does definitely have answers to it with like Tranquil Moment and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, that's the game, or that's round 1. So yeah, hopefully we get to commentate some more games in this GP.
Yep.
And with that, we'll end the video.